Hey guys, it's BrowncoatNerd, and today I'm bringing you a review on the Beretta 92S. I purchased this from Classic Firearms several months ago. I believe this came out of the second batch of 92Ss they've gotten several in. I am very happy with this purchase. As a kid growing up watching Die Hard and Lethal Weapon, the Beretta 92, I believe that was the FS, was just a very iconic gun, and as a kid growing up, it was just plain cool with the open slide here. It's very easily identifiable. It's one of the main guns that you see in movies used a lot. And besides that, it's just a darn good gun. This particular one is an Italian police trade-in. This is also made in Italy. This is one of the older 92Ss. I believe this is basically your second generation of Beretta that they made. You had the Beretta 92, which had a frame-mounted safety that was back here. That was a lot like the safety on my Beretta 85 that I did a review on. Then they came out with the 92S, and this particular one is the first one with the slide-mounted safety, and this gun has been safety checked. There is a chamber indicator. Well, they call it a chamber indicator. Your extractor here, the very top, you can't see it because obviously it's empty, but it's painted red, and when you have a round in there, that extractor kind of sticks out a little bit. So it's not the best chamber indicator in the world, but I guess it's better than nothing. Anyways, though, this is the first Beretta 92 that had the slide-mounted safety. It is not ambidextrous like on the newer ones, and you can see, too, the lever here itself is kind of a different shape, a little more kind of old school, which, of course, I like. When this first showed up, I did pay the extra, I don't remember what it is, but I paid the extra for hand select. As you can see, it's definitely worn, but this one, I just feel that it's like just worn in all the right places. It's just a beautiful gun. I immediately just fell in love with this thing. The action is very, very smooth. The trigger is very smooth. And it shoots pretty good. The first Beretta 92 was made in 1976. The 92S, I think, I'm not 100% positive on this, was made from 77 to 82. And it may have been made, well, they're still making the original 92 with the frame-mounted safety as kind of a transitional gun. The Beretta's got a couple, the 92S has a couple of features that if you're looking for a really good, range day Beretta 92, this might kind of fall short on, namely the sights, but I'll go over those here in just a second. We'll just kind of do a quick rundown of the gun. The back strap here is smooth. There's no texturing on that. Still has a very nice beaver tail. The hammer itself, I don't think much has really changed on that. And as I said before, your safety is in the same spot as on your, Beretta 92 Fs and FSs and the M9. It's just kind of a different shape, and it's not ambidextrous. You also notice it kind of has a plum coloration to the bluing, as well as the slide lock and the teardown lever, kind of like that you see on the Makarovs on their safeties and hammers, which I actually love. I think that's kind of adds a little more to the distinctiveness from this Beretta model to the others. It just kind of gives it that overall kind of old school feel to the gun. And I just think that the fact that this, being a Beretta, one of, or I believe the oldest gun company still around, being based out of Italy, this is an Italian police trade-in. It's just, it's pretty freaking cool. You get your slide serrations here. These sights, as I said, are just, well, they're barely there. Now, of course, I took this out to the range, and those little itty-bitty sights, you're really taking your time, so I found myself to be pretty darn accurate. If you're wanting a gun for like a home defense gun or a carry gun, this is kind of big for a carry gun, but to each their own. The sights, that right there alone kind of is going to make this one fall short. So if that's kind of Beretta 92 you're looking for and you want to get a good bargain, I would probably go ahead and step it up to one of the newer models. But if you collect Beretta 92s or just kind of, want an affordable 92, but you're wanting something just to, take to the range and have fun with, the price on this is super cheap. I think I paid like $300 or just a little over $300 for this, and I can't say anything bad about that. I think it's a steal. Getting back to the front and back look over here, as you can see, the front strap does not have any texturing. The newer ones have lines here. Also, the frame here on the grip comes out a little bit to fit a little better in your hand, and these ones do not. They have that straight angle look on them. And obviously the big thing that people always talk about this is the mag release, which is down here on the heel rather than up here, which is pretty weird. A lot of people really complain about it and say it's a huge downfall of the gun. But to be honest with you, taking this out, shooting it, I got used to it very quickly, and also discovered that whenever I was shooting my CZ75 and I was trying to change out the mag, I kept going down here on the 75. So if this is something you're going to use for home defense or anything like that, definitely make sure you get a lot of training in, obviously, and get used to that mag release being down there. The trigger guard is more of a curved trigger guard. It doesn't have that straight down angle with the texturing up front. This does have a metal trigger as well as a metal guide rod. It does not have the polymer ones that the newer ones have. A lot of people complain about that and they really hate it. So you do not have to worry about that on these guys. The mags, oh boy, they do drop free. Can you do it? Here we go. There you go. See, they do drop free. This particular one still got I believe the original bluing is just worn down on there. I don't think it's been refurbished at any point in time. Some of these 92s you'll see with kind of a flat black finish. I believe those are ones that have been re-arsenaled. And they just kind of painted over the gun. The mag on this, as you see, has really nice bluing. Matches the gun. And some of these mags, like this one, this is a 92S mag, has that matte black finish. While we're talking about mags, the other big shortcoming of this gun, you need to be careful when purchasing the mags, because your standard Beretta 92 modern day, models, the notch is going to be cut, or I believe on this side, up here. And on the 92S, the notch is down here. Now you can buy a mag that doesn't have the notch down here and just Dremel it in. I believe all of the Beretta factory mags have the notch both down here as well as up here. But you need to be very aware of that when purchasing a gun or a magazine for this gun, that it does have that lower notch. The only aftermarket one I found, this brand is this Metgar. No, this is actually looks like a Beretta mag. But the Pro mags, and I know a lot of people really hate those magazines do have a notch cut in the lower section, and they do make an extended mag if you wanted to do that. Or just buy an actual Beretta brand one. Another problem on the magazines, and I've seen this in a couple of the videos on here, on this gun, the springs on the magazines are just getting worn out. So a lot of times the slide will not lock back on the last round like it's supposed to. Super easy fix. I just bought a extra power magazine spring from Wolf Springs, and it fit right in, works perfectly. I've had no issues whatsoever with the gun locking the slide back open. That happened a few times on me, and I changed out the spring pretty quickly, and that seemed to have fixed the problem. I've dumped a lot of rounds through this gun. It has not hiccuped at all, other than with the old spring, the slide not locking back. That was the only issue I've had with this gun. It's been very reliable. I've had no issues with hollow points. Don't recommend firing plus P. I'm sure to handle it fine, but I do not believe this gun is rated for plus P, so just, don't waste your money on that. Let's see, what else can I go over? This particular one is imported by PW Arms. Some of the ones that Classic has been getting in, some of the importers are different, and they just kind of put it right on the slide there, which kills me, because I love that worn bluing. It's almost kind of a purple. I think it's just a beautiful hue. Like I said, some of the downsides, the sights, these are not, I mean, you might be able to change out that rear sight. I'm not sure. It's not I don't think it's any kind of standard size. The front sight is, milled in there. So other than painting the sights, you're kind of stuck with those. The plus side, these guns are cheap. They're great price for what they are, and it's just a classic gun. Another downside, you're going to have some limited grip options. Although more companies are making grips for these, obviously the newer ones will have the mag release here. This guy has it down here. You can buy newer grips and Dremel that out. A lot of people do that. But then you have this ugly, gap here. Overall, it's a good gun. My issue was when I got this, it was beautiful. I wanted to play with it. Wanted to do, change out more springs, change out the hammer spring. But it's just a classic gun, and I didn't want to mess with it. So the only logical answer is buy two of them. This will be actually part one of my videos on the Beretta 92S. I'm going to compare these two guns in part two, which I will put out probably next week. But Classic does have these in stock again. I highly recommend grabbing one of these if you've ever thought about getting a Beretta 92. It is a great gun. It's a reliable gun. And for the price, you just really cannot go wrong. Thanks for watching. This has been BrowncoatNerd, and have a great day.